Oh, Jeff, absolutely brilliant session. Very impressive where your golf's going. I kind of at the moment categorically want to say we're not touching setup, we're not touching backswing. We've done a good job. Ball position now is solid. Spine tilt is exactly where I want to see it. Lower body is completely neutral. As you can see here, you're completely centered within the middle of those two lines. Small bend in the knees, nicely over the golf ball. So from there, good work. Very, very good work. I ultimately wanted to show you this. As you take the club away, again, I'm incredibly happy to the top of the golf swing. And it's lovely viewing from my perspective. If you said you've been working on trying to get that wrist flat last season, as you can see, the wrist is seriously flat, and as a result, the club face is seriously square. So, to the top of the golf swing, brilliant. It's a neutral club. My problem, if I'm being obscenely fussy, which I am, my problem is as you now swing the club down, look, by the time you get halfway down the downswing, your club face is quite a long way open. That left wrist wants to start to cup open. So you revert back to a comfortable position. Now the problem being is if you revert back to that position, what's ultimately going to happen? What's going to happen from there? You've got to really release the hands. A rubbish golfer, no disrespect to anyone, but a rubbish golfer from that position would hit everything high and right. You're a far better player than that. What have you worked out from here? Look what happens. You get to an open face position here and then release the hands. You've taught yourself to do that because you have to. My argument would be it's probably not going to be particularly repeatable, especially not if you're trying to hit a fade, which clearly we are. So I ultimately, from that position, wanted you to think about from what's a lovely position here, trying to get that club face more down towards the floor in that position rather than, as you can see there, open. And therefore, instead of that wrist cupping this way, it's going to feel like the wrist wants to bow that way. I showed you a good video of Jordan Spieth, and look from here, the reason it's relevant, he gets to a very similar neutral position as you here, but then if we look as he starts to downswing, look at the angle of his wrist, wants to start to bow. And therefore, in the same position in the golf swing there, look at the angle of his club face, wanting to close because his wrist is bowing. And therefore, if you can get into that position, you've just got to feel from there, you can just turn through it. You don't have to release the hands, you can just turn. Look at Jordan Spieth's hands, they don't really have to roll. You look for yourself, and as I said, quite rightly, because you've taught yourself you have to, but watch from here, watch your right hand really flip over the top, and you're reliant on small muscles controlling everything. As we said, as soon as you thought about taking that out of it, you just turn hard with the body, you've hit the ball bullet straight and 3 or 4 miles an hour faster, which is impressive. Give us some practice, Jeff. Lovely to see you. And as we said, I think we've already got something in the diary for a few weeks' time, and we'll move on from there. But incredibly impressed with that. Take care. See you soon.